Hello there, Buzzvarians. It's me, Schizophrenic. Down here at the mall, which I honestly thought was going to be a lot less habitated. So I'm happily surprisingly happy that there's so many people here. Hopefully, we'll get some interviews down here at the Mormon charity station. I forgot my audio thing here, so I'm going to do it like differently. I might just like live stream and then cut the interviews out of this live stream instead of like use my microphone and record it later. Oh look, there's amplified sound down here at the mall. It's weird and strange. It never happens down here. Loud voices on the mall, they're breaking the peace, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, welcome to this holiday episode of my horse shit I'm doing. Thank you. Sorry. Happy Solstice to everybody. I appreciate the time to celebrate, privately celebrate my way here. And look, live music down here at the mall. Alright, there you go. Live music all year round down here at 16th Street Mall. Here are the Mormon stations again. Let's go talk to some people. Don't really have anything to say, I suppose, to you guys, because I was just going to record and then post it. But now that, like I say, I don't have the right gear for that, I'm going to live stream it and clip it. I don't know if I've explained that to you yet. But that's my plan. Oh, it's nice and quiet down here. So yeah, maybe there's going to be no opportunity to talk to people because the party's down there. Instead of down here where the Mormons are trying to brand Christmas as a Mormon entity or property. Pardon me, jeez. Oh, they don't have their sign out saying that they're recording, so I guess they don't have that crew. Oh, though someone has opened it. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I see.
He said yes. I can't help it.
Oh, did I even get it? I wasn't even looking. Sorry, guys.
I'm not scaring your kids.
Should we go down by those lights?
It's coming up. Yes.
Are you a cop? Are you a cop?
Yeah, so it's going to be like really slow again. Like I'm not going to be like talking directly to the camera all the time because I'm trying to get some interviews here, like I said. So hopefully everyone who stops by will pick that up. Maybe I should put it in the title. Not sure that I can change the title. It's weird that I can for the title I can change it to 100 characters later. Not sure why that would be. Maybe because they're trying to use 40 characters to be like, yo, it's live. I don't know why. It confuses me. See, when I'm talking to you, though, I think that that's what I'm doing. Oh, my hand is so shaky because it's like chilly willies right here.
It was way too much to just
Hello there. Hello there. Can I talk to you for about 5 minutes about these giving machines for my YouTube? Can I interview you for about 5 minutes?
What's up?
I saw you working on these giving machines here. Can I interview you for about 5 minutes for my YouTube?
Sure.
Like, do you work for this company?
Well, I'm a volunteer.
What do you mean by volunteer?
Well, the 6 charities that we're collecting money for between the city of Denver and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we provided the vending machines.
So by volunteer, you're a member of the Church of the...
I am.
Okay.
Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay, cool. Are you a missionary right now? Are you a full-time missionary?
Nope, I work full-time. I'm a financial advisor.
What is your calling in the church?
My assignment is the giving machines.
What I mean is, sort of, are you an elder? Are you a high priest? Are you a ward mission leader? Are you a stake mission president? Are you a mission president?
Good
That's sort of
question.
what I mean. Are you one of those things?
Yeah, no.
You're not. You're just a member of the church.
I'm a member of the church.
A member of an elders quorum, I presume.
Very good. Yes.
So no, not like in the presidency of an elders quorum or anything.
No.
Not in a bishopric or anything.
Nope. There's a what they call a communications committee.
Excellent.
And I'm serving on the communications committee, and my responsibility is to interact with the community, and this is one of the things that we do.
Excellent. I appreciate that. One of the years you raised about $600,000.
2 years ago we did, yes.
At this location, that's correct?
At this location.
Excellent. And that was during, it was just before
2019.
Okay. And
Before COVID, yeah.
and did you run it the next year, or sort of was kind of slow?
What we did the next year is we did a virtual campaign. We didn't have the physical machines here, but we did have 8 charities that we supported and provided them with commodities and financial resources, but not to the extent that we did this year.
Are you on track to catch up to the 2 years ago sort of thing, or is it kind of slow again this year, or how do you feel?
Great question. With the dramatically lower traffic here downtown from 2019, we thought we'd be quite a bit behind. Right now we're tracking about equal to where we were in 2019.
Excellent. And there are 5 of these around the world this year, or?
There's 10 cities in the United States.
Okay. And they started here in Denver in 2018, is that correct? 2019. Okay, so this is, okay. Though these have been not in Denver, the giving machines have been running worldwide. Yeah, like we were one of the first cities, or
we were one. They started in 2017 with 3 cities. 2018 they had 6, and then we participated the next year.
Excellent. All right. I do appreciate your time.
Okay.
You have sort of people if you, I don't know if you're talking to them.
Those things pretty much run themselves. The one question you didn't ask is that the only way to contribute to these is swiping, and of course there's swipe fees. So what we do is we cover the swipe fees, so 100% of the donation goes to the charity.
Excellent.
So what's your channel? What do you typically do?
My name is Schizophrenic Mitch. My channel is The Dork Shop. I am a sort of anti-religion channel, but I'm not anti-religious people. I'm trying to get your
perspective.
I was down here 2 weeks ago though protesting, and so now I'm sort of like working on a what I mean when I protest the Mormons kind of video.
Oh, were you the guy that was here in the afternoon?
I am that guy.
I heard about you.
Cool. What did you hear about me?
Well, I heard that you served a mission in New Zealand.
That's right. I have posted that interaction if you would like to hear what was said during that interaction.
Oh, great.
I was treated unfairly, and the cops were called on. And I feel very offended by that. Who should I seek an apology from?
Well, I don't know who treated you unfairly.
The Mormon Church did.
Well, okay, so we all are a bunch of volunteers. Was there someone in particular that did that?
He wouldn't give me his name. Isn't that strange?
That's unusual.
Is it unusual, or is it a weird thing to do, or is it very typical for Mormons to be sort of obfuscating about things?
Well, I don't know. I guess if you're doing something you're not proud of, I guess you probably wouldn't give your name.
Have you heard about the I agree. Have you heard about the amount of money the Mormon Church sort of has accumulated over time, and then a whistleblower sort of said maybe this is a bit larger than it should be?
I've heard of that, yeah.
What is the value of that money? Like how many dollars is it according to what you have heard?
I have no idea what it is. What the number is.
If I told you it was $10 billion, would you be surprised by that number?
No, I think that was low.
You think that's low? Okay, excellent. So if the Mormon Church had $10 billion, I understand covering swipe fees, but how difficult would it be for the Mormon Church to match the $600,000 that you're raising this year? Don't you think the Mormon Church can match what the community of Denver is giving? The Mormon Church is a charity organization, is that correct?
Sure.
And they're sitting on a sort of rainy day fund, as they call it. And $600,000 out of that rainy day fund is sort of trivial, isn't it?
Call it a pittance, yeah.
Who should I talk to in the Mormon Church to ask them to match the donations of my fair city, the Denverizens who are not Mormon, is that correct? So non-Mormons gave $600,000 in Denver this year. Is that right?
No, I would say, I don't know the exact figure.
You said you were on track to match 2 years ago's $600,000 figure. Is that right?
Yeah, what I was about to say is I think probably 75% of the contributions.
Is there someone locally that I can talk to who would
are-
have the power to do that, to match the donations of the non-Mormons of Denver?
Would,
Who do you guess that would be in the Denver area?
let's put it this way. I don't know who it would be, but if you directed a request to me, I certainly would forward it.
This is definitely a request to you that the Mormon Church match what the non-Mormons have given in Denver.
So how do I respond?
How do you respond? By whenever you give this, however much you give just as much from that rainy day Mormon fund.
No. I don't know how to contact you and let you know what we're doing.
My name is Schizophrenic Mitch. I'm on YouTube.
You got to say it slower so I understand what you're saying.
That's sort of part of the name. Mitch, though, you can find.
Oh, Mitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Mitch.
Yeah, the Pastafarian street preacher in Denver. I've been working here in Denver on the street. I am the Pastafarian street preacher here on the 16th Street Mall.
Okay, so Mitch is your name.
Mitch is my name.
Pastafarian
is my religion.
I got it. Okay.
Street preacher is my calling.
Got it.
And Denver is my area. So if you would search that, you would find only me.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. And you have a website or an email address?
I'm on YouTube, mostly is where I post most of my stuff.
So I can go to YouTube and I can find you and I can post a little comment on one of your things.
And you can say the Mormon Church matched the charity of the people of Denver this year.
Well, if that happens, I will certainly do that. I don't know that it will happen, but
I know it won't happen. Do you know it won't happen?
Oh, no, I don't know that.
I know that it won't happen.
Now, how
that
do
the
you know
Mormon
that?
Church doesn't have the charity because I was a Mormon, and I technically still am.
I understand.
Cool. So, because I'm a Mormon. How do I know that? The answer is I'm a Mormon.
Well, yeah, but I'm a Mormon too, and I don't know that.
Well, I think you do. You're just trying to deny it.
Well, that's a little unfair.
It is unfair. A lot of what we do in religion is unfair. Do you agree?
That's fair.
Okay. And one of the things you did was unfair because I sort of got you on record saying some numbers, and then later you sort of moved away from those numbers and sort of were like, and also I asked you kind of clearly what your calling was, and you were sort of, a volunteer. You're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Right.
You don't volunteer your time, right? The church owns you, right? You're a temple-worthy member, is that right?
Yeah.
And so you've donated all of your time, talents, and energy to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is that right?
Well, I'm supposed to. It depends on
So
who you
your
talk
whole life is your volunteer effort. When you say volunteer, you mean all of your efforts here in reality, right?
to. Well, I volunteer for other things, not just for the church.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, but for the church, I mean, the God of Joseph Smith. And you wouldn't donate your time to things that don't glorify the God of the church you worship, right? Yeah. So everything you do is a donation to the one and true God of this reality.
Well, I guess what I would say is that having worked with some of these charities like Jewish Family Services, who worship a God that I'm not that familiar with.
What's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob?
Well, okay, that part I understand. But again, it's not my religion. But at the same time, I think what they're doing is fabulous, and I would be delighted to assist them and volunteer for them.
Also, you give to the Catholics, the local Catholics.
What about them?
One of the charities that you're giving to is local Catholic charities.
Not this year.
Okay.
We try to rotate each year.
So yeah, I agree with what you're saying though. That you're sort of making an argument for no, this is a God that I don't worship and I give in charge. So I do appreciate that as a defense of that accusation I said.
One of the other charities is the Crowley Foundation, and they're not affiliated with a religion that I'm aware of.
Excellent. So I'm not saying that this is the worst thing that Mormons do.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, but I am saying B, the Mormon Church is an evil organization. Just like the Catholics and the sort of these.
I hear you.
Yeah. So I reserve the right, and I profess that I'm very good at protesting evil religious organizations that come down onto my street and don't even match the generosity of the non-Mormons. Do you agree that it's non-Mormons mostly that are giving to this?
No.
Why would Mormons use this machine to give to charity? Why would normal Mormons come down to the mall today and use this machine when they can just add a line to their tithing sort of offering?
I think the primary reason we've observed is that people bring their kids down here and especially at Christmas time, give their kids a chance to give something as opposed to receive something. And when you're at a vending machine, it's kind of a unique experience.
So it's sort of
really
symbolic.
relates better to kids.
Right. I think walking down and giving $20 to homeless people would relate better than this thing. So A, you can just donate more to the church on the tithing thing. Giving in public is alms in public, and that's against the Bible. Do you agree?
Well,
So what I'm saying is this thing is a sort of cynical rebranding of the Mormon Church, and you're involved in it. The Mormon Church is what it is. Can you tell me Joseph Smith's second wife's name?
There's a debate about that.
What do you think it is?
I don't know.
Why not? Was she a brave woman?
I don't know.
The first polygamous wife? Was that a brave thing to do?
I don't know what she knew when she did it.
Who do you think it might have been?
I don't know.
Do you know who Fanny Alger is?
I believe she was one of his wives.
How old was she?
When?
When she was his wife?
When she married him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why is that a thing that Mormons don't know? Why aren't you proud of the idea of the second wife of Joseph Smith?
I don't know that it's core to the beliefs of the church.
It certainly is. Polygamy is very important to Mormons. Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay. She was the first polygamous wife.
Okay.
That's 2 steps to core Mormon beliefs. It still
Sure.
is true that in the celestial kingdom you will definitely have more than one wife. Is that correct? It's sort of taught that God the Father has...
sort of taught, but not a requirement.
Do you think that there will be people in the celestial kingdom without many wives? There will be males in the celestial kingdom without multiple wives?
I think it's possible.
Is that... I think that Brigham Young said it's not. Do you agree?
I don't recall him saying that.
Cool. So what I'm saying is, you're trying to rebrand the Mormon Church right now. Joseph Smith slept with his 16-year-old maid and called it marriage. You're embarrassed about that, so you don't know the details. Rebranding that type of abuse as an evil act, part of that is right here. Do you agree that if the Mormon Church is an evil church and you're trying to absolve it of evil, you're involved in evil? No, I'm not saying, do you agree that you're involved in evil? I'm saying, do you agree that if that math is correct, you are evil?
I guess I don't agree with that logical train of thought.
Okay, you don't agree that it's a logical train of thought, or you don't agree with the facts in that train of thought?
Oh no, I think the facts that you're talking about are probably pretty close to the truth. I just don't think that just because one person does one thing that is disagreeable today or could be criticized today, that we know exactly what happened then, and B, that it invalidates every other good thing that happens.
Okay, I'm not trying to invalidate all the other good things that happen, because that is one of the points, is that it is a baby with the bathwater situation. I did grow up Mormon, I did grow up in the Mormon church, it did give me sort of values.
What town?
Los Angeles is where I spent my sort of high school years.
Okay.
And so there's a baby in the bathwater situation. My love of music, I have 3 children, family is the greatest joy in my life. I think these are values I share with the Mormon church.
Fair.
I have a lot of non-straight friends in the Mormon church that had a very sort of difficult
experience.
Yes, difficult, to say the least.
To be kind, yeah.
Yes. And so I want the Mormon...
You find things wrong and you're pointing them out and you're trying to make it better.
Yes, and in doing that, I have excluded myself from the Mormon church.
Fine.
So that is sort of my thing, is that I want it to be a thing that I can change from the inside, and it's quite clearly saying to me that change does not come from people like me, and I think it absolutely does. I think we, as the members of the living sort of population, are the people who are changing the world, and that, you know, true religion is the good parts of religion, and so I'm trying to keep those good parts and criticize the bad parts, and I think that criticism is very heavily discouraged from the general conference pulpit by people like us specifically.
Pulpit, yeah.
Yeah. So I think quite clearly we say as the Mormon Church, your criticism is not allowed here, and I say that sounds like a dangerous situation.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And so by about the time that I've sort of said how I truly feel, I have said things that exclude me from the membership of the Mormon Church.
Sure.
And so I haven't been kicked out yet because nobody has noticed the yelling that I'm doing, which is nice. So I am a Mormon trying to change it from the inside, and you know, I was yelling 2 weeks ago, and I was considered an outsider and probably described as an outsider, like an ex-Mormon, or which.
Well, let's put it this way: you don't look like a Mormon.
No, I look exactly like a Mormon. Because I'm a Mormon.
Agree, but
What?
if you were to line up 1 million Mormons, you would probably not look like most of them.
Neither would you.
Fair.
Thank you. You're not normal.
That's fair too.
Thank you. Nobody is normal. Thinking about this normal is a sort of problem the Mormon Church has. It has this idea that it's going to homogenize its population, and that goes against the sort of idea that some of us look differently from some of us like the gay people.
I do think that they're getting better.
Sure. I agree.
Okay.
Though
Maybe not fast enough for some.
Yes, maybe 14 years behind the national average. Right. Because, you know, I was born in 1978, and that's when our African members were able to fully receive the blessings of the temple.
Sure.
But isn't the one and only true church ahead? And so...
Wait. Say that again.
Oughtn't the one and only true church of the creator of all reality be ahead of the curve instead of behind?
I have heard that argument.
Yes.
Although
Yeah.
I would say that there is a logical argument that God might let man catch up on his own time rather than push him along.
Right. But his own time outside of the church is faster than inside of the church.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because there is a sort of story about McKay going to the Lord and asking, is it the time yet for our African
Black brothers?
Yeah, and got a no. And the prophet received the answer no. And so there were people around that disagreed with him, and they were outside of the church. And that's what I'm saying. Is that I guess I must be outside the church to tell them that they need to catch up to the world on a certain number of fronts. And so, you know, I am. But also I'm not, because I'm a Mormon and you're not, right? You know how, like, you're not Mormons anymore? It's not the Mormon Tabernacle Choir anymore?
Gosh, yes, I didn't think of that.
So you guys are the ex-Mormons and I'm still a Mormon.
I didn't think of that. I like that.
Thank you very much. I consider it one of my best churches.
That's right. Mitch, it's been a pleasure.
It has.
You are a delight.
I am. Some people don't know that because they see me as an antagonist, and that's how I look.
You've thought things very well through.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you've done some pretty good studying. And when somebody makes a point, you can hear it, and you may not agree with it, but you can acknowledge it.
Right. And people called cops on me the other day.
I heard that.
Yeah, that's not nice.
No.
And I would like an apology from the grey-haired old man that was involved in it, because he never then came over and talked to me, even though I followed the rules that the cops laid down for me for about an hour, under threat of violence. They had weapons on them that would make me die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's how the Mormon Church treats me, and that's not how I'm treating it. It's trying to be, like, reciprocal, and that's not reciprocal.
Well, we would say that, I mean, even though I'm not a Mormon, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
Technically, not everyone who is a member of that church has treated you that way.
Correct. Because we are all individuals, and religion is actually an individualization. We are all the religion that we carry within ourselves is unique to each of ourselves.
Yeah.
And so, So I am a unique Mormon, and you are a unique Mormon, and there are things that follow under the Mormon umbrella, and hopefully I still follow under that umbrella. But I also fall under the umbrella of Pastafarianism, which is that a lot of things can be communicated through satire.
Did you say pacifism?
Pastafarianism?
Pastafarianism?
Yeah, the flying spaghetti monster. Have you heard of this argument?
Man, you are teaching me so much.
Appreciate it.
This is terminology I've never heard before in my life.
Do check out my YouTube. I think you might like a lot of it. Though I just swear quite a bit.
I'm not offended by swear words.
Excellent. I was down the other day to talk to a street preacher. I usually walk up and down the street talking to people who street preach. Just on the southern block here, there's a group of the Black Hebrew Israelites that are preaching quite a bit of an aggressive...
Black Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah, they come out here every week.
I have never heard of them.
They are preaching in the same sort of arena that this is involved in.
Right.
This is sort of a street show, and it's sort of one of the rare times that the Mormon Church comes down into the street to have its voice heard.
Absolutely.
So that's why I approached it, because there's both the time and place. And then the people in that time and place pretended it was not. Even though they were putting on music later, it was very interesting. So this is the forum, and lots of religions come down here, and I'm not just opposed to the Mormon Church. I talk to all the people who preach this.
Cool.
Yeah. And so when it was the Mormon Church's turn, I was surprised that they were so surprised that it was happening.
Well, granted that we might be less experienced than some of your other adversaries.
Yeah, it's quite less experienced at the street show, because it's very rare. It's very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Mitch, this is cool.
Yeah.
So I will definitely look you up.
Thank you. Because I do. When I was in New Zealand, there was this guy who would preach in Christchurch called the Wizard, and sort of they told us.
Now, Christchurch, the city, not Christchurch, the Church of Christ.
Right, Christchurch, the city in New Zealand, in the southern island.
Okay.
There was this guy called the Wizard. He'd been preaching forever, and he was a street preacher. And so there was sort of like a big tradition in New Zealand for the street preachers. And so I sort of have been fascinated by them. And so I have decided to do this as part of my religious expression, because I did quite enjoy the sort of weekly religious focus that you get during the
mission.
No, just during normal Mormon life of going every Sunday, of like being like, let's think about spiritual things every week.
Got it.
I think that there's
how often do you come down here?
When I can, I come down here every day.
Really?
But I like in summer and things like that, I can sometimes get out here every day.
Okay.
But I try to keep it more than once a month. But so I've missed some months. But I've been coming down here for about 6 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Quite fun. I usually walk around with a sign right here that says, "Please join my cult." In a sort of light-hearted way, open up the idea very aggressively about religious topics that we're going to be talking about.
Fame and past the third.
Yeah.
Street preacher crew, 50 cents single free.
That's right, I've got free placebo. Though the second time it's $1 more. Every time you get it, it's $1 more than you got last time.
Okay. All right. Well, you have a great evening.
You as well.
Great visiting with you.
Excellent. I hope to be interviewing some people as they walk away and ask them about their experience, though it sort of is a lot less traveled than I expected as I was walking this way, so I don't think I really got any interviews.
Yeah, the whole 16th Street Mall, we've noticed this year is really quiet.
Yeah, super quiet. So I think I'll get out of here, because I did get 30 minutes of good content. What was your name?
Dwayne.
Dwayne, it was very good
Smith.
to meet you. Dwayne
Great
Smith.
meeting you.
Mitchell Webb.
Okay.
See you online.
Take care.
You as well. Excellent. So that was a nice conversation with Mormon Dwayne Smith about Mormonism and things like that. And also I think I was watching in the back, and although some people were participating in the giving at the vending machines there, the giving machines, I guess, they sort of approached and left from the other direction, probably. So, that's nice Christmas Eve miracle. Even though, I'm not getting the white Christmas that I was hoping for. It has only rained here instead of snowed. I honestly, that is nice. I'm kept down on the sort of like drizzliness of my schnoz hair and the tingly freezing of my fingertips here, which are sort of the first problems with a low temperature. If you haven't noticed yourself, you probably haven't noticed this, living in a body that might sometimes be in a low temperature. So let me let you know how it is being a living human here in what is, I presume, reality. So that's nice. Also, this thing is broken up. So that was over. We got the end of that. I've got my camera. Let's walk down the other side, see if anyone's preaching at all. There's a couple places where they Well, they might be. Let me catch up with the chat that might have happened while I've been there. Oh, excellent. Yeah. I think that was a nice conversation with a member of the Church, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the ex-Mormons. Let's see. Or, yeah, maybe I'll just get the fuck out of here because, that's all I need to do for my religious observance. So, a couple weeks ago, the cop asked me, what's it going to change? And, what is he said there's no minds will be changed here today. And sort of that's correct. Sort of he's saying that today we will be able to measure zero results from what you do. And that's fine and that's true. It's true enough. It's so true that I can't argue it. But, it's not like 1,000,000,000% true, because, there's a measurable fucking change in the sort of position of the members of that, the humans who heard me. Including people who are not the people I'm talking at. Because, there's a street show. They are getting yelled at to be seen getting yelled at, and I'm yelling at them to be seen yelling at them. It's of a third party as well. But also, that's my point though, is that you just go out there and you talk, and little pieces over the day add to the shelf of the people who believe things that are unreasonable to believe. And so, I suppose, the real effort is putting weight on people's shelves in the vernacular of the post-Mormons. You just check the shelf piece by piece and ask about how much weight there is, have them reevaluate it, because I think that shelves do not get stronger. I think this idea of like the thing that was holding up my beliefs, I don't think it strengthens with examination. And so, the mental net and web that we are using to hold our belief systems together can't be measured. And so that's the change that I'm doing in the Mormons that I yell at. I'm not breaking the web. I'm challenging the strength of each of the strands, and that is some of the strands are stressed and not broken, but structurally damaged. Because you can believe a thing until you can't, and that's the only way that minds change, I think. Minds just believe what they must. I don't, sorry about that. Anyway, Pastafarians, I'll turn this back on if I see anybody preaching. Otherwise, I'm going to blow my nose a lot. And, you don't need to see that. Thanks for coming by.